What's going on YouTube? This is Evelyn Brantley with FLB Photography. I've had this YouTube channel for a number of years and I figure I finally do something with it. So here we go. Doing a live editing of a shoot that I did yesterday. So hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Even better, if you have any questions, subscribe and then leave a comment. Hope YouTube doesn't flag me or mute my video because I'm running somebody else's music on here, but it's what it is. I can't work in the silence. Forgive the scratchy noises and stuff like that. It's that's the sound that my stylist is making on my monitor. I have an HP 2-in-1 Envy, so I'm not working on a tablet. I think I'm going to change that probably within the next couple of months, so that way you'll have a distraction-free viewing experience without hearing all the extra noise. Let's hope that my Photoshop don't shut this down because my scratch disk just decided to want to be full all of a sudden in the middle of an edit. It's happened to me a couple of times when I was trying to live stream to Facebook, so I'm going to have to go back and delete those videos. But at least I got most of the work done, so it is what it is. See what you're doing, you're actually watching a live edit. This might take a minute, so if you got endurance like that, please do. What I'm going to do is actually do the edit from the beginning to end in real time. You know, instead of like some other photographers on YouTube where they will speed up the process. So therefore, you can really get an appreciation of how long it will actually take to actually do a full edit. Depending on the image, it can take me anywhere from like an hour and a half. You know, if I have to do extensive editing, it would take me about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, just one image. You know, time being what it is, at the end of the day, as an artist, is always worth it. In the case of this one here, since this is a really a full body image, head to toe, or in this case, head to toe, it's not going to take me that long because I don't have to do a whole lot of skin cleanup or anything like that. I mean, there's going to be some, but it's not going to be so much to where I have to go in depth and clear up a lot of problem blemishes and uh, pits and imperfections in the skin. I still got to do some of that because you can never fully get away from that. So I'm getting ready to go in here and get ready to do some. Get ready to get some of the blemishes out the way now. This is what typically takes the longest amount of time when I'm doing a retouch. Because not everybody's skin is perfect. Even with makeup on, unless you have a damn good makeup artist, it's never going to be perfect. But you still have to clear it up. I was told something by a photographer that shot for like Revlon and Max Factor, and he does this stuff. And he's been doing it for about 30 years. And the irony, he's told me that even when it comes to natural makeup or natural photography, when people women want to look natural, they still do a whole lot of editing. They still do a whole lot of retouching in post. So never believe that whenever you see a shot and it says natural, best believe there's still some makeup on there and there's still some Photoshop work done on it. Because no person on earth got perfect skin. In fact, what's funny about it, they even Photoshop it to make it look imperfect, just a beauty imperfect. The irony. So what I'm doing here right now, I'm clearing up some of the blemishes, some of the parts of the skin where it looks two-tone. And we just want to even it all out. This is the unglamorous part of photography. This is the part of photography that the clients don't see or the average person don't see. In fact, this part of photography takes longer than the actual shoot itself does. Both the pre-production part and the post-production part. But people see the glamorous side only. They see people setting up lights. They see the photo shoot. They see what's the glitz, the glamour, the fun part of it. What people don't see is the hours that we have to go through just to edit a photo, touch it up. And again, this is when a particular model has, great skin, but we run into those situations where they've had really, really bad skin, a lot of blemishes. They may have a lot of acne. Like in this case, she doesn't have a whole lot of acne, but I mean, she got some, which I'm going to go in and clear up, but I want to get rid of the blemishes first, since that's going to take the longest amount of time. Just want to clear this up a little bit, make it look like the surrounding area. By the way, if you want to learn where I got some of this stuff from, the photographers' names are Dallas J. Logan and Day Howerton. They have a group on Facebook. It's called Light is Light. And when I say that these guys are amazing at what they do, these guys are amazing at what they do. I really don't listen to too many other any other photographers because I know that they've been in this field. I've seen their shot celebrities. I've seen them work in action. I've seen them editing. You know, so it's not like they just showed us a bunch of pictures and said, "Hey, this is who we, this is what we did." They've actually showed us what we did. I mean, what they've did, what they've done, and actually help us out because they like the typical photographers where they will they keep everything close to the vest, like it's a state secret. But no, they're open with information as long as you're not just take it, but you're taking it and you're applying it. Because they said something that made a lot of sense. It's like, yeah, it's like the more of us that learn, especially my people of color, my black photographers and other photographers of color. If we can elevate our game, then that's a win for everybody. That's a win for the whole community because we're already underrepresented in the game anyway. So, so people that act like they say that they're the best, and that's another thing that they never do. Given who their clientele is and who they've shot, who they work with, the covers they've shot, the celebrities they've shot, I have not yet in the 4 years I've known them ever heard any of them, either one of them say they're the best at what they do. Now they'll say they're good at what they do, but it shows in their work, so they don't really have to say it. So yeah, so just check them out. Their name is Dallas J. Logan and Day Howerton on Facebook. And the Facebook group is called Light is Light. If you're serious about photography, especially if you want to get into fashion, product photography, you just want to elevate your game in whatever genre that you want to get into, follow these guys because these guys will get you on the right path. I don't believe there's any other photographers that I've known that I will pump up this much, but just where they shoot at, they have credibility to me. Uh, they best photographers from New York, but they shoot in LA, but they've shot all over the globe. They shot in the South Pacific. They've shot in London. Yeah, my apologies, people. I seem to have lost the connection real quick, but we're back. So if in the case that it disappears again, we will keep going. But hey, as I was saying, Dallas J. Logan and Day Howerton on Facebook, they have a Facebook group called Light is Light, so check them out. This young lady here, her name is Deja. I actually found her on Instagram. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Floyd Brantley. I am a beauty and commercial beauty fashion. I'm a commercial photographer out of the city of Detroit. And one of the things that I'm doing really also as well is really trying to find women who really want to be models and are serious about getting into the industry. I guess you can say to an extent, I'm trying to save them from the vultures that are other photographers that, shoot them for other nefarious purposes. Uh, I don't do boudoir. I don't do nudes. I don't do implied nudes. You know, it's strictly fashion, strictly beauty. And you'll see more of my work as I start editing and talking about photography and things like that. Another thing that I do as well is that I'm trying to teach other photographers to really become serious about their craft, really understand the basics of it, learning light, because that's one thing that I see a lot of people doing is, they buy all these expensive cameras, they buy all these expensive lenses, they'll get a lens just because it can go down to 1.4, and then you look at their body of work and you can see that all of their work is shot at 1.4. So it all looks the same, but the thing they forgot about the most basic part of light photography, which is light. If your light is not right, even what I'm doing right now, you can be the best editor in the world. But if your light is not right from the beginning, don't even worry about trying to get it right in camera. Because if your light is not right, it will never be right in camera, let alone once you get it on your system. So I'm also will be putting up tutorials for people who are interested in photography. They really want to get serious about it. They want to learn lighting. That was an issue that I had when I first started shooting way back in 2010. First place I jumped to was YouTube to see if I can learn how to light. And the problem that I found myself running into was that, yeah, you have photographers that were, they knew some stuff, but they either didn't teach you what you needed to know, or they was giving you bad information or wrong information. And these guys have thousands of followers, and and the thing that they like to talk about the most is gear. I'll tell you a secret. You can buy the most basic entry level kit body with a kit lens, and you can take some pictures. You can take photos to make it look like you shot it with a Hasselblad. Because the thing is, like Ansel Adams said, Ansel Adams is like one of the earliest and today most renowned landscape photographers. Ansel Adams said that the most important equipment that a photographer can have is the 12 inches that's behind the camera. The 12 inches, which means your brain. A camera is only a tool. Just like you can't just buy a hammer, you just can't buy a most expensive hammer and expect the hammer to build a house for you. The camera, the lights, the equipment, your reflectors, all that stuff. It's the same. It's the same concept. You buy the tools, and you have to learn how to use those tools first before you can even say, "Oh yeah, I want to get a better tool." Because truth be told, if you have a great camera, if you have great lenses, if you have the best lights, but you're a crappy photographer, you're still going to come out with crappy images just shot with expensive equipment. At the end of the day, that's what it is. By the way, most people when they edit photos, they tend to use frequency separation. I use that. That's not the focal point, or where I base my retouching on. When I use frequency separation, I'm typically using it to eliminate hard lines. Um, and again, it depends on the shot. Like if the shot that I'm doing is using hard light, I'm not trying to get rid of those hard lines because that's the whole purpose of me using hard light. But if it's an area where you have one tone that's transitioning into a soft tone, but the line looks kind of irregular and raggedy, then that's not a that's the time that I would use frequency separation to get rid of that. Also, it gives the skin an effect like it's glowing. Like a woman just woke up in the morning and her skin is fresh and it's just glowing. It's just amazing. So one thing I never do, I never use frequency separation to sharpen, and I never use frequency separation to soften my images because we're born with pores. That's just a fact of life. So why would you take something that you're born with and you eliminate them? As you can see, as long as I've been editing so far, I've left the pores because it looks natural. If you get rid of all the pores, you look like a China doll. The skin looks porcelain and it looks fake. So, now what's funny is that I lit this really, really well. So there really is no need for me to like really do a whole bunch of in-depth editing. I literally got it straight in camera. So the tones are nice. The highlights aren't blowing out. I might bring that down just a little bit, even though according to my info panel, it's within the range that I wanted. But I might just bring it down just a tad. But it all starts with light. At the end of the day, when you think about it, when you're taking a photo, you're not taking a photo of a subject. Your camera can't see, your camera can't tell the difference between a car, a person, and a product. All your camera is going to see is 18% gray, and whatever light is bouncing off of it and reflecting off of it. All your camera see is light. Let's get to me. Next one. As I post more videos, I'm actually going to go through and explain what I'm doing. So that way, as you're following me, you can see, oh, okay, well, this is what the clone stamp tool does. This is what the brush tool does. So you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing and follow me as I go along, and hopefully incorporate it in your work. What I'm ready to do right now, I'm ready to dodge and burn this image. I'm not using the dodge and burn tool. I dodge and burn using curve layers because that actually gives me a lot more control, and the way how I edit is non-destructive. I do it this way, so in case that I get like say 21 edits in, and then I see that I'm not really liking it, then I can just delete that layer as opposed to using the tool and trying to go back, to the a previous state and trying to change something, but I can't do it because Photoshop only holds on to 20 something states before it bumps it out of memory. So when you're editing, the one thing that you want to do, you always want to use a non-destructive method. So if necessary, if the need ever arises, and you need to go back and even if you want to start from the beginning, instead of going back to Photoshop, sending it back in again and start from the beginning, and you just want to go to like say the fifth edit you did, like in my case, when I did the blemishes, and I was fixing the blemishes. Then all I have to do is just delete everything prior to those blemishes, and then I still have those layers there, and everything that I've done since up to that point is still there. Now the point of editing is not to completely change the image. You don't want your image to look completely different than it was when you started it. You just want to enhance the image. Like in the case of, I'm taking a picture of a young lady, and she's already got her makeup done. She looks the way how she looks. That I don't want to edit her to where she looks completely different, like she's somebody else. because she didn't hire me to make a picture of somebody else. She hired me to take a picture of her, to create photos of her. And this is the difference between taking pictures and making an image. Let's go back out, see what we're looking at. This is just the burn, well, that's too far out. It's just the burn tool. So I want to see what I did with my image, with my shadows. So as you can see, I just burnt the shadows in just a little bit, carved in some parts of her features, so she can really stand out, make her stand out a little bit more, make it look more 3D. Try to get all the shadows to match. So this is going to be a relatively quick one because it's not a whole lot I really need to do to it, because again, it's not like if it was a 3/4 shot or if it was a head shot, if it was a beauty shot, yeah, then I would spend a lot more time on it because, the face is right there and I have to clean up everything that's there. But because, the average person is not going to be zooming in all the way up here, then it's not really imperative for me to do that. Now I got to make a decision. Do I really want to um, bring up the highlights a little bit more? Yeah, I think I will, just for the purposes of this video. So add another curves layer. I'll bring it up a little bit. Go ahead and hit invert. Bring back up my brush, my regular brush, not the Burn and Dodge brush, just the regular brush. And I got it set to 33% opacity and 3% flow. Excuse me. In some of these areas, I'm just gonna brighten up just a little bit more. Just to add a little bit more interest to it, so to speak. Also, they do, the photographers I was telling you about, Dallas and Day, they also do lives every day except for uh, Saturday and Sunday. And you really have access to them to ask them questions about everything that you want in photography. Um, then on Fridays, they have what they call critique Fridays, is where you can submit your photos that you've shot, and as long as they're not snapshots, but and they'll critique your photos, and they'll give you guidance on how you can make them better. Um, Not like better, because at the end of the day, you're an artist. You made the photo, but from a professional perspective, they'll look at stuff like your skin. They'll look at stuff like your lighting. They give you constructive professional criticism, not criticism, but constructive professional critique. And so and it's another way that you can grow. See, these guys are not about egos. I mean, these guys they're the real deal. Okay, looks good to me. So I'm going to take this down here. Now this is where this is where I use frequency separation, and I use that only to smooth out shadows, and it's not going to be a whole lot I'm going to do here. So But again, I never um, use frequency separation to actually do my skin retouching because it never works out. And all it's going to end up doing is making the person in your image look like a porcelain doll. So unless you're in the business of selling porcelain dolls, do not use frequency retouching to sell porcelain dolls. But I'll be honest with you, if you call yourself a photographer and you use frequency separation to to retouch your image, I guarantee you will never see a magazine. Well, you'll never see your images in a magazine. So I want to clean up this area here because this area here is still kind of two-tone. So because we still see a line right here, a distinct line. So I'm gonna click right there, sample that area there. Oops. Just kind of erase that line just a little bit. You use your tool similar to like a makeup brush, just like what a makeup artist does. Because basically all I'm doing right now, I'm doing the same thing that a makeup artist would do when the model is in the chair. I'm uh, blending and filling in areas. So as you can see right there, I got to go back and do that. Let's get rid of this. And then we'll put up another image right there. We start over again. I want to get rid of this area right here. So simple from that area right there. I don't want to take it away completely because, there is light going right there. Because it will get to a point where when you light something, you're going to have shadows and you're going to have transition between shadows. So that's natural when you light something correctly, or even when you light something incorrectly. Okay, and go here, merge all my layers, zoom out. And there we go. Actually, let me go back. So I'm going to show you something. Okay, so take all these layers that I did my edits on, put them all in one major group. I'm going to zoom this up a little bit. Okay, so now you see her after, it's her before. You can see all the work that I've done. Didn't take a whole lot. After, before, after. So it didn't take a whole lot of work. This one, I'm surprised, only took me 32 minutes, but it's pretty good. But then again, this came really with experience. Just it took me a long time to really be able to be this effective with it. But even with me, I've only learned how to do this earlier this year. But I edit old photos like on a regular basis. And see, if you look here, the lighting still looks natural. The shadows still look natural. The skin still looks natural. You zoom in, she still got pores. But then again, like I said, you're not going to, the average person is not going to zoom in this far to look at a picture. They're going to see it just like this, as I shot it or as I posted. So if I was to crop it, which in this case, let's do a crop. Just recompose. This is another trick that they taught me. Is that instead of recomposing in, like, say, Lightroom, because you'll lose your resolution, let's make another copy of it. Zoom out so I can get my transform handles. And let's see. Nope, don't want to do that. Okay. Okay, what's going on, man? What's going on? Come on, Photoshop. Don't stop playing with me. All right. I hate this, man. Anyway, so that's what it is. It's like Photoshop is bugging on me again, but you've seen the important part. I gotta clear up my scratch discs, and then the next time that I go live on YouTube, then we'll be doing this again. From beginning to end. Probably end up doing a probably end up doing a beauty retouch. So that way you can actually see the details. Come on, man. Well, the saving it back to Lightroom, that's not the important part. You see the important part, so I apologize for the technical difficulties. So, we disconnected earlier. So, next time that we actually go live, then we'll go live from beginning to end with no problem. Uh, so, for this to be my first YouTube video, I don't feel too bad about it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found out enough that will get you interested in that get you interested enough to subscribe. And because I have more tutorials, I have more in-depth tutorials on retouching, lighting, um, probably live stream a photo shoot one day. So